How was rookie minicamp, man? Your first NFL rookie minicamp. How, did you like it? Was it fun? How do you think it went?
Yeah, it's a lot. And, when you get to this level, I guess you could say there's a lot of mental aspects that come to play, and not there wasn't in college, but it's a whole nother level of, you just getting thrown into the playbook on day one, if that makes sense. So it's a lot of learning and, coaches just kind of, putting the playbook on you and seeing what you can kind of collect and put on the field, and so, it was definitely a lot of mental distribution over the weekend. And it was obviously a new experience for me, and it was a fun experience overall.
I forget the exact quote, but I thought I saw Coach Stefanski said something over the weekend about we're going to throw everything we can at them. They're going to be totally overwhelmed, and that's fine. We know that. So I'm not surprised to hear you say that.
So we had, like I said, we had the voicemail from Kenny Mack, our guy in the dog pack. He wants to add some questions about training camp. So we'll go ahead and jump to that, and we'll see what Kenny has to say.
Yo, guys, it's Kenny Mack, and I'm calling in to talk to Treyton. Treyton, how's it going from Ottawa, Canada? You got some fans up here with the Ottawa Browns backers. What I want to ask you, number one, what were you hoping to get out of your mini camp that you just got out of, whether it was strength, nutrition tips, or just some football overall for you? You're a pretty well-rounded player. Other question I have for you, man, I was in Las Vegas when you played the Rebels, and you had a great game. 3 catches, 50 yards, great blocking. Unfortunately, you guys didn't win that game. I want to know, it cost you a shot at winning your division. What did you learn from that, and what were your takeaways? Cheers, my man. I'm out.
Yeah, so first off, just the rookie minicamp aspect, I think I just want to go in and learn as much as I can, kind of as we talked about, just get the base of the offense, get everything down, meet new people, kind of give a great first impression, if you will, and just kind of be myself, because you don't have to be anybody but yourself, and so being grounded in Christ is hugely important for me. And so go in and just, like I said, soak up as much information as I can and just be who I am, so, and then, on to the next question. That was a heartbreaker against UNLV, and they were a solid team this year. The Mountain West is no joke. The conference as a whole, and I think it was before that we had lost to Boise State, and that kind of hurt ourselves. And then going into UNLV, it's just one of those things that, in any level of football and in any situation, every game matters. And that's the mindset that you got to have going into every single game, is every single game matters like it's the last of the season, and football is a really cool sport where most games in the regular season do impact the postseason, if that makes sense. So like there's only 12 games in college ball regular season. So every single one of those games matter, and you got to play every single one. Like, it impacts the off season or the postseason, because it does. So for us, it was devastating to lose one of those important games.
Yeah, so, coming out of minicamp, I guess, you, and especially you being a tight end, Tommy Rees is the new tight end coach there in Cleveland. And, we've talked about him on the show ever since they brought him in and all that. But what was your first impression of Tommy Rees? And, did you get to have a lot of interaction with him, or just what was your experience over the weekend with him?
He's a great guy. He was in my shoes years ago, so he kind of knows what the experience is like, and so that's kind of cool to have as your coach, be able to, soak some knowledge up from him and get some advice from him, which is pretty cool over the weekend. But he's a great guy who knows football and knows what he's talking about. So it's really exciting to continue to gain information from him from a football perspective overall. And like I said, he's a great guy too. So I'm excited to continue to build that relationship.
I mean, I know tight end for sure is, I know this is a little off the script here, but just it's one of those positions where when we saw that the Browns had signed you, that you were coming to Cleveland, it was like, oh, okay, this is kind of a bigger deal than a lot of people might realize, just because that is a position where we don't have a ton of depth. And there's a great opportunity in that area of the roster for you to carve out a role. And it's very exciting to see you at rookie minicamp and to be following along. But what's your mindset as far as just approaching the team, and what's your expectation for yourself moving, through the summer here?
Yeah, I'm my biggest critic, and so every day I'm gonna hold myself to a standard that nobody else really holds me to, even though there's standards being held no matter what by coaches and team and everything. But I'll hold myself to very high standards, and for me, my biggest competition is myself. You hear that everywhere, but I think it's important to stay in your lane, if you will, and put one foot in front of the other every day. And so for me, that, is putting one foot in front of the other every single day and taking one day at a time and trusting the Lord's will and submitting to the Lord's will. So it's, I know it's tough no matter how you look at it. Everybody, the NFL is a cutthroat business, if you will. And I'm sure you guys have heard that too. But so for me, it's one day at a time, one day at a time, give 100% effort one day at a time. And don't necessarily have a scope looking down the calendar, have goals in mind, but one day at a time, increment to change over a long period of time.
So as far as like summer schedule and all that, are you on your own now away from the facility until OTAs, which are in a couple weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, we're rolling. I mean, rookies, I think, is a little bit different. Early on, guys, we're rolling still with practices and stuff like that. So okay. I think, yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm all new to it as well, so it's hard to know what to expect. But yeah, we'll find out, I guess. So I'm not off on my own right now.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Okay, so like rookie minicamp didn't just end and now everybody just went their own way for a few weeks. Like you guys are all still okay. All right, gotcha. Cool.
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, obviously we don't know, and I think a lot of people listen. It's kind of cool to get a glimpse into like a day in the life. You know what I mean? We don't get to see it from players' side and players' perspective a lot. So I think a lot of people appreciate kind of seeing what it is you're going through. You're just replanted yourself into a different state. I don't know if you'd ever been to Ohio. So now you're away from friends, family. So it's good to know that you're not just, they don't just say, hey, thanks for your 2 days. Now we'll see you in a month.
Yeah. And actually just being there with the rookies and everything, cause that's really all it is right now. So, I mean, what's your impression of the rest of the young guys coming in with you this season? I mean, is there anybody you've kind of like hit it off with, you're kind of palling around with, or anything like that?
They're all great guys as well. They're all focused on learning as well, and kind of like I mentioned many times, putting one foot in front of the other, taking it one day at a time, and so they're all very, very great guys, And we had the opportunity to talk to some older guys, just kind of about what to expect as rookies, and they did a phenomenal job of kind of being a leader in a way, and just kind of telling us what to expect going into this year, and how difficult and great it can be, So I think with the group of guys, you'll find that this rookie class is a great group of young men.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. And I think the Browns have done a really good job of kind of building a culture since AB and Stefanski have come in as like, we're a team that takes care of their own. They take care of their players. Like you said, they make it known that this is the standard and this is what we expect, but they do it in the right way, and they like treat people with respect. And even if they got to make a hard call down the road with a player or whatever, like they do it in the right way. And so I think it's good to see that we just have a team and a front office that treats people the right way.